on there, YouTube? Back again on this new rat rod build. I did a bunch of work off camera. I apologize for not filming it, but I just got caught up in the building, and I thought about it about halfway through, but I was already so far along, and I was just having a good time with the hobby and doing what I like doing. So figured I'd just do a video here to catch y'all up. I did some rear suspension work, and I've got the body mocked up here on the chassis. It's going to be a little while before I get anything on the front. Been working with Jason at Awesome Designs, and we're looking at some things that might be tested on this build, and we're just doing some more brainstorming. This build I'm really not rushing at all. I had an extra day off work when I did the chassis, and I just spent all weekend in here building. It was fun. And but I'm not trying to rush through and get this thing done. I want to take my time, and not sure this setup with the rear suspension is permanent. I think this may be the first draft. I do want to make some changes to it, but let me get the body off here and I'll show you what I've got so far. Alright, so I don't have the body mounted yet. It's just hanging on there. Sits nice and snug around the firewall. Now I made it a cantilever setup. It's a little bit big though, but it had to be long. Let me get you a better look. So I had to make them long because of where the shock mounted. There wasn't room because of the lower 4-link rods. It's really hard to show you with the tires on there, but I'm just trying to get you up to date. I don't want to take it all apart right now. This shock's really dry. It doesn't have any resistance. This one's nice and soft and squishy. These are just some I bought off eBay. They probably need to be torn apart. At least that one does. But works really well. The ride height's a little bit high. Not sure how I feel about all that yet. Like I said, this is probably just the rough draft, but let's have to see. I'm just using the standard RC 4-wheel drive Yoda 2, and I've got the 4-link mount, and it just has like a standard 4-link. I've got some really short rods on the bottom, and then the top is just 2 rod ends put together. And I made the upper links from scratch. I took some flat stock steel and cut them. I tried to drill nice even holes through it, and it didn't work out that way. So yeah, there we go. The holes in it aren't perfect. But like I said, this is probably the rough draft. For the pivot point, there's a little bushing. It's something that comes with the Tamiya semi-trucks. So I drilled that hole out and slid that in there so it won't tighten down all the way. So it'll allow it to spin, but it's nice and snug. There's not play side to side. Ideally, I want to get this shorter, because right now with the body on, this comes up through the little third window back here, and I don't want that. I need all the interior space in that little body as I can get, in case I put some seats in there, or most likely it'll have to be used for the transmission or ESC and radio and all that stuff. So, but I probably won't be able to do a full interior in this thing because I don't know where I'm going to put everything. I am considering, I can't afford it, but I am considering the RC 4-wheel drive V8 just because it's a place to put the engine and I can have the hood open. So that's the problem I'm having with the number 3. I want to do the full interior, but I can't do the engine too because of the hood, and it's, yeah. So that's what I'm thinking on this, but I'm still a long ways from being able to afford that right now because I need another R4 transmission as well. And you just can't do quite as much with that as you can, say, something like this Kevin Kirk engine, which would look killer in there, but there really would be nowhere to put an engine. I'd have to do a tiny little thing here, and it would just not be right. So I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Like I said, this is no rush in building this. I'm just messing around, experimenting with stuff. You see the frame's starting to rust a little bit since I made it. Just sitting in here sandblasted. I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. Even my little links have rusted some. But ideally I would like to shorten these down. My whatever you call those, for the cantilever setup, and do a shorter shock from up here, or maybe even share this hole with the lower link mount. So I did have to space that out a little bit because the frame is narrower than the rear axle. So that could be an option. That was what I originally intended. I'm not sure yet if that would be too much, if it wouldn't fit under the body or not. I think I could make it work, but I need a different shock. I need something. These are the, I think, 70 or 80 millimeter Trailfinder 2 shocks from RC 4-wheel drive. I really need something about a 50 millimeter, which is going to be hard to find in that diameter. I already put those other shocks up. Most like touring car shocks and stuff that would be the right length are like 10, 12 millimeters in diameter, thick. And these are about 5 or 6, so it has to be something smaller like that, but let's have to figure it out. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up redoing all this, but this is just a rough draft. I need to get the ride height down a little bit as well. I think maybe a little bit. I don't know. Just not sure yet. There's still so much development left in it. But I just want to get y'all up to date. It's pretty cool looking. I like oddball suspension setups like this. Something out of the ordinary. Try to always keep things strangely different. I really, really love this body. I wish I could build a real Model A sedan like this. So that's where the body is going to sit. That's where my rear axle is looking. It's just about even with the rear of the car. This camera is not cooperating today. There we go. Sorry guys, it's after work. I'm half asleep. It's like 3 a.m. But yeah. I don't know, maybe the ride height isn't that bad. We can get a little bit more drop in the front, perhaps. Let me move that out of the way. I've got all my tools laying out. Everything's a mess. That might be too much, but get a little bit of a rake to it. Might be kind of cool. I can't get that tire to stay. Something like that, maybe. I don't have any ideas yet for front suspension. Like I said, I've been thinking about doing my own front axle. I do have the inverted leaf spring on the number 2 build, but it's really not very, there's no travel. It's very stiff. There's a lot of better ways I could do that than what I did on number 2. That was just my first time with it. But I'd like to keep some suspension. I want the front to match the back, so this can actually be a functioning RC car, a little more drivable. I don't have anywhere really to drive an on-road car where I'm at, so if I could make this thing have as much travel in the front as it does in the back, then I could barrel around the gravel and have some fun with it. But anyway guys, that's it. I just wanted to update you on that suspension. Hopefully I can get out this weekend and work on it some more. Got a lot of things planned for the real project car, but got to make time for the little ones. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned for more to come. I'll see you all in the next video.